Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly energies. This is the week of the 13th through the 19th of July. I hope that you are doing well. I am starting with the Inner Gaia Oracle. As you've been seeing me in the past few weeks, this has been a go-to deck for me by Keisha at Luna Muna on Instagram. You can check her out. Thank you for joining me. I welcome you all. And as I always say, welcome to your week. And this week we have some interesting things happening. We have obviously we're coming in from the weekend. Yesterday, Mercury station direct, and everybody celebrates. Woohoo, Mercury's going direct, and we don't have to worry about communication and this sort of introspective aspect that comes with Mercury, where we should listen more to what's going on with our hearts than what's being said outside of us, or what goes on with our thoughts, right? So now that Mercury has gone direct, we still have to deal with its shadow, and it is stationed in the 5th degree of Cancer. So that will start actually moving in the next few days, when it starts moving onto the 6th degree and then the 7th, and then we'll see a little bit more of this communication starting to pick up, and not as many mishaps as we experience with what we want to say, miscommunications, all that stuff. So I want to start seeing what the themes are for this week. Okay. So with this Mercury going direct, like I said, we have this sort of relief. Our minds come back online, and we feel more like ourselves. Not a lot of that hazy feeling that Mercury retrograde, tends to give us. But we have a bunch of other planets that are still retrograding, including Chiron, the asteroid, the one the healer started to retrograde recently in the sign of Aries. And this brings up a lot of old wounds, inner child, things that come up from years, and things that come up for us to observe and go through the healing process, right? So we have a lot of opposition happening this week as well, with all these planets that are in Capricorn. Okay, we are in Cancer Sun, and Capricorn is the opposing sign of Cancer. So there is a lot of energy being focused on Capricorn right now. And look at the themes that are coming up, both very dark, okay? Even in the color of the cards, you can see there is this letting go of things that are definitely not good for us, okay? We are letting go of that ghost of the past, of the toxic relationships, toxic ways of even thinking, habits, addictions, and the clouded vision. Like I was saying, Mercury going direct, that is going to be coming up. We're going to be seeing clearer. But these two cards, wow, they both go together so incredibly well, and they both speak on that, how we're letting go, and how these things are coming up, so that we could see where we could have been even hurting ourselves, just holding on to things that are not in our best interest, not for our well-being at all. Okay, let me get one more. Okay, since we have these two cards that are talking about the same theme. We have divine intervention, okay, which a lot of you could see as the Tower card in the tarot, where there's these detours that happen, and we are encouraged to be in absolute faith in this transition. Okay, so these are unforeseeable life changes. These are things that happen unexpectedly. Okay, things that take us by surprise. And the other one is observe, but not absorb. Interesting, right? How all these are theming together. It talks about people in our lives that could be more of energy vampires than actually giving us, okay, helping us in our growth. So this talks about energies that have been stagnant in our lives, things that have been just keeping us stuck. Okay, so a lot of this Capricorn influence, I wouldn't be surprised if in our tarot the devil shows up, okay? And the devil in the tarot is represented by the sign of Capricorn. Not that this is anything bad, but the theme of toxic habit, addictions, and people, it is the negative side of that card. Okay, so let's shuffle a little bit. I welcome you all. Thank you for showing up for the weekly energies. So this theme of letting go is coming up, of the things that we have been craving, the temptation, the things that, have been kind of luring us in for quite some time, but have clouded our vision. And now we are, being guided to look at these things, observe. I mean, we have Pluto in retrograde, Jupiter. We also have Chiron now retrograde. It's all these things that have wounded us and that have to do with the shadow parts of us, okay? The things that are not so nice to look at. So it's also about boundaries. I see that through the transition, we are being guided to set some healthy boundaries. Hi! Reina! ¿Estás aquí? So good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, so the themes coming up are pretty clear, okay? This theme that we should be letting go, okay? And you don't need to do anything just because I say that word should, okay? We are being guided to let go. We are definitely being guided to let go. You can choose to listen to me and the messages that are coming through from Spirit, and you can choose to, just let it go past you. It's okay. But this is highlighting this week. There's a lot of this shadow aspects of ourselves that are coming up, and we're seeing it with people around us, with the triggers, with the wounding of the ghost of the past, with the ways of thinking that might be keeping us stuck and just keeping the energy hostage, okay? Instead of allowing it to flow and being in acceptance and being open to new things, okay? Because there is a definite feeling here of transition, like something needs to change, and we could observe what is going on with people around us, okay? How they're behaving as well, because this could be something that is coming from outside of ourselves, and we are being encouraged to observe it but not to absorb it, okay? So let's see what comes up for this week. For everyone, remember my readings are on Monday, based on a collective energy. The first card that comes up is the Five of Cups. The sadness that we have, the mourning that we have of the things that we used to know, okay? It's not an easy energy. It's mourning, it's going through the sadness. And, you know, the Five of Cups to me, it's a card that, if I had to give you a guidance, it's a card of refocusing, focusing on what's going good, okay? Because in this card, this person is focusing on what's been lost, what is outside of themselves, and they're not turning around to see that there is two standing cups right there behind them. Okay, so this to me is about focusing on what is going right in your life instead of what has been lost. Okay, we should feel the feelings. Okay, this is about feel all the feelings that come with this card. This is about feeling the sadness, the loss, that emptiness, honoring how we feel, but then practicing the letting go, the releasing of the emotions, the purging of the sadness, and maybe even this could be speaking about letting go of relationships that have been toxic in our lives, okay? And also toxic habits, things that used to bring us comfort, but they were a way of escaping, okay, of reality. Now, with this card of crave, it speaks on that, on the toxic habits, on the addiction. And addiction doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol and drugs, and it can be people. It can be a way of escaping into putting our heads down and working and forgetting what is going on around us. So let's see what else comes up after this Five of Cups. The King of Cups is showing up. So this is about choosing to love ourselves and about choosing to follow our hearts, okay? The King of Cups is a person that holds great love. It is in a sense, like, I feel like a lot of us are coming to this place where we are maturing in the way that we look at love as well, okay? Because this card is about letting go, but this card is about not losing faith in love, okay? It's about choosing to love even after you have been hurt or gone through deceit or rejection or abandonment, okay? The Justice card. And the Justice card comes to say that there is a way, there is a good outcome out of all of this, okay? There could be some sort of karma involved here wherever you see the Justice card. It is about things that have been done wrong now being made right. So I see that where there could have been certain aspects of relationships that seem toxic in the way that we were interacting with certain people, the way that we were falling back into patterns. I feel like now there is like this new maturity gained, and we can look at things with an open heart and see where we have been wrong and where it's our own accountability, taking accountability for what our role has been in the situation, okay? Because with it being such a general concept and talking about all of us collectively, this is a sadness of the way things used to be, and the loss of comfort, and the having to look at, you know, this sort of transition as, wow, we could have never pictured something like this happening. But this is now it's coming to a point where harmony has to come back in some way. And the only way of doing that is really facing this head on and with an open heart, okay? If we are not open to the changes and we choose to stay in some sort of clouded vision of the way things used to be, then there's no acceptance that we are changing, that we are indeed moving forward, and things are never going to be the same because we have lived through these experiences already, okay? So let's see what else comes up. So things that have been done wrong, trying to make things right, apologies, conversations from the heart, okay? Some heart-to-heart conversations, some sort of resolution for those who have gone on with no closure in certain situations. And, you know, I keep getting this message of not losing faith in love, or not losing faith of what is possible, okay? And I can't even believe that I just said not losing faith, because this is the card of having faith. And because of having that faith and remaining in that faith, we see certain things come true in our lives. Something that we wanted, that we wished for, that we remained so certain of, that we visualize it, and now it's coming to fruition. Now, I also see that with the Star card, okay, this is an Aquarian card, and I love this card for so many reasons, because it is a card of healing. And when you get the Justice card and the Star card together, I mean, harmony and healing. So there's something that has been let go of. Could be transgressions from the past, could be the loss of loved ones, could be toxic thinking, or negative relationships that have been just falling apart in your life, that you have been almost like addicted to, attachments, okay, that you're letting go of. And now this transition is calling for you to remain open, to keep an open heart, because only in that way will we see this win-win outcome with the Justice card. Only by keeping an open heart and by remaining in faith, okay, through these changes. Now let me pick one more card. We'll look at the bottom of the deck to see an overall energy. One more card for everyone for this week. And that card is going to be the Queen of Cups. So we have both counterparts. the King and the Queen. And the Queen of Cups is a woman that wants to bring beauty and extend her love to everything that she does. And when I see these counterparts come through together, I feel like there is a way to reconcile certain differences. Okay, I feel like this could be a good week for many of you to see the way forward in relationships by letting go of the past, letting go of guilt, shame, and different things that have been just weighing you down. Because the energy really with the themes, look at how dark all the cards are. And right there in the middle, there's that cross, you know, just telling us to keep the faith through this darkness. Okay, because in darkness there is uncertainty. And that could be just, you know, just forcing us or pushing us or taking us to a place where we need to look more at our dark side too. Okay, those parts of us that are not that pretty or that cute, and again, our role in all of it. Our role. What have we done to create the situation where there has been this sort of codependency here? Okay, so these are the cards. Reconciliation, healing, and harmony coming where there has been loss and sadness. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck for an overall energy is the High Priestess. And this is all about connecting to spirit. And look at what she has right there in the middle, a cross. Right in her heart, having unwavering faith on our own guidance. Okay, our own intuition. The messages that we are getting from spirit, that voice that we are constantly hearing, that need to go within, you know? I mean, it's secrets being revealed through that sense of great intuition. It's gaining greater knowledge about you as a person. This is why I'm saying like the light and the dark. She is in between two columns. One is white and one is black. Not doubting that guidance that you have been receiving on your own. Okay, and this is the voice of your higher self coming through, speaking to you, telling you what is good for you and what is not. And I was working with a client this morning, and she knows who she is, and she was expressing to me how the whole time that she was in a relationship, she felt this sense of anxiety and unease. And she chose to ignore it and keep going with the relationship, thinking that things would shift and that, she would focus in turn on other things and ignore all the other things that were really coming up for her as anxiety. And anxiety is a very, that feeling of being unsettled. It's telling you there's something not matching your energy there. And that what could be attracting you to this person is to reflect back to you what that is. Okay, so a lot of this week's themes are about looking at ourselves where we've been honoring that, honoring the feelings of sadness, loss, regret, shame, guilt, anger, frustration, all of that. But really, as we honor that, we give it a place where we could lay that to rest. It's not something that is going to keep us in a place where we're going to keep absorbing this over and over. This is really guiding you to keep an open heart and to not lose your faith and not distrust where you feel you're being guided. Okay? So, healing coming to certain relationships, if you trust in that faith and you have that unwavering faith in the transition that is happening, okay? And where you can let go whatever you feel that you have done that has been wrong, and you take that accountability, but you release yourself from those chains, you don't carry that with you. You don't, sorry for that, little pause. You don't drag that along with you. So this week is a lot about connecting to that inner voice and having faith that it is divinely guided, okay? Now I'm going to pick a couple of more oracle cards here. I'm going to use the Animal Spirit deck here. So if you're into animal spirits or you have been, for any reason, connecting to animals lately. Okay, so we have the Turtle Spirit coming through, which says, slow and steady wins the race. And another thing that was coming up this morning with my client, nothing is, the inner work is everyday work. Okay, it's not something that just you wake up, you say, oh, I release myself of all these burdens and all of that, and it happens just like that. No, I feel like, for some people it can happen like that, and you are more than capable of doing that. But this is saying slow and steady wins the race, okay? So the Turtle Spirit coming up to give us that guidance to be, patient with ourselves, to be kind, to know that sometimes reconciliation and sometimes these karmic imbalances, they take their time, okay? And it's okay as long as we keep walking in that faith every day, okay? Now, we are being encouraged to take time out. And we have the Bear Spirit coming through saying, take time out. The bear is known for going into hibernation, right? And going into a cave. And this is very much about going within. It is the number 9. It reminds me of the card of the Hermit. And again, the High Priestess, going within to find the answers, okay? Not looking at things that are outside of ourselves to give us the answers, okay? And you are watching my reading. You are listening to the guidance that is coming through. Remember that my guidance is divinely guided, and whatever I channel through me is coming straight from Spirit. So if there is something here that you needed to hear today, I hope that if it resonates, you will let me know. You will give me a comment, like this video, share it, because I would love to hear how the messages impact your life, okay? So the next card that is coming through is the Nightingale Spirit. And this is a very vocal bird. Okay, this is a bird that sings and has the ability to imitate sounds. And it has a very beautiful song, and it wants to remind us that love is all around. Okay? Love is all around, and it's so important that you know that these two cards came out specifically as the archetypes of love and believing in love and having faith in love and practicing self-love and unconditional love as well. So that card is there to remind us that love is all around. And then the peacock is the last one that comes through to say, let it shine. Let it shine. So let love shine through. Let whatever is in your heart come through. Know that you are being supported in every single sense, okay? If you feel like the energy has been really heavy and you felt tired, it's okay. All these transits we have gone through, full moon, eclipses, planets in retrograde. I mean, Mercury is coming out of its retro right now, but still, everything that is coming up with these retrogrades, when planets station in the retrograde, it's for us to observe things that are coming up for us, okay? And the themes are very strong. When to let go, when to hold on, what's good for us, what is toxic, how can we best move through transition and these unforeseeable changes in our lives, and how can we observe and love people from afar if we know that, you know, their energy has kept us stagnant and kind of like we're being guided to build those healthy boundaries, okay? So the answer to all of that is taking it slow and steady, taking that time out when you need to, okay? Knowing that love is all around. Connect to that frequency of love is the highest frequency of all, okay? You can connect to it by doing things that bring you joy and that fill you with a sense of happiness, okay? And this could be music, dancing, movement, writing, expression. This could be acts of service, you know, you name it. It's individual for each and every one of you. But know that love is all around you. And let it shine from your heart, you know. I love the peacock with the heart chakra activation here and saying let it shine. This could be also about you wanting to step out and shine, since we have the card of the star coming through, and this could mean many things. This could mean that you are a person that is wanting to step out more into the public eye and, you know, share your gifts and your talents where they could have been hidden, okay? Because you have the High Priestess, and look at what we have underneath. The Eight of Pentacles, a card of focus, intention, and perfecting of your craft and your gifts. So that could be a thing for many of you, okay? You could be feeling confused as to how to put that expression out there. Let me see. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Yes, you can always contact me. Thank you for the validation that the messages are resonating with you. Some of you laugh with the messages that were coming out. And I know I do that when I feel like something is just like coming at me and just hitting me right in the face, trying to, wake me up from, whatever message wants to come through with spirit. I feel like sometimes it's laughable because it's so true. You identify so much with it. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that the messages help you. Okay, the energy has been a little heavy, a little dark. Everybody's kind of like seeing different things come up for them that could be questioning how to keep the faith through all of this. I understand if some of you have felt very emotional. I mean, the first card that came out is the Five of Cups, which is letting me know that a lot of us are in this sadness and in this mourning. And we're being encouraged to let go, and it's difficult letting go of things that have been so present in our lives. What has been the norm, okay? But a lot of it needs to be looked at from a place of how can we move through this chapter? And a lot of that has to do with self-belief and with having faith. So, hi Ingrid, how are you? Oh, well, I'm so glad it was spot on for you. Thank you. Thank you. I see the light in you as well. Thank you so much. I love you all. I do this for you, and I hope that if you ever feel like you need to reach out, know that you can. And I just wish you to have the best experience possible, knowing that you are supported. Okay, so love you all so much. Have a good week. Let love shine. Know that it's all around you. Okay, know when to take time out when you feel too overburdened and too overwhelmed. And keep that faith, all right? I love you all. Take good care, and I'll see you soon.